Whoa.
Hello, everybody. So,
Okay.
hold on. Something is weird with the camera.
Hmm?
We're getting like weird feedback. Okay, I just needed time to focus.
Okay. So how about that episode?
Right off the top, we want to mention, if you didn't hear it in the postscript for the episode, if you didn't see it on social media, we're going bi-weekly until the end of the campaign. Yeah. So, no new episode this Friday. We might try to put like something out, like a playlist or something for the Patreon, but
we'll figure it out. But yeah, no new episode on the main feed this week. One the Friday after. And so on and so forth until the end. And we're doing 20 and 21 live on our YouTube channel like we did with the premiere and the season 2 finale.
So that'll be fun. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Oh my goodness. Tell your friends that are behind if they want to catch up and do the live premiere.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oof.
Still
doing a giveaway on our Twitter account. Little keychains. Look at them. So cute. Behold.
Yeah. 3 lucky winners.
Very excited.
We'll be getting one of those.
Yeah.
What other?
I think that's it.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. $5 patrons. Omegroth 2 coming soon-ish.
Sorry, it got delayed
by like a lot.
Our production schedule has been a little tight.
Fucked. It's been fucked.
Yeah. We're doing better now that we're on bi-weekly.
Yeah. So
on to the playlist. Wow. Oh
goodness. Started out with Free by Florence and the Machine. Oh god. There's a lot of this.
Oh god.
I'm always running from something. I push it back, but it keeps on coming, and being clever never got me very far because it's all in my head. You're too sensitive, they said. I said, okay, but let's discuss this at the hospital. This was both Leo and Fee at the beginning of the episode after their ordeal.
Yeah. But I hear the music, I feel the beat, and for a moment when I'm dancing, I am free. I hear the music, I feel the beat, and for a moment when I'm dancing, I am free.
Is this how it is? Is this how it's always been, to exist in the face of suffering and death and somehow still keep singing? Yeah.
It's a song.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, no, not this one. Oh,
then it was My Attic by Pink, and that was a Sabine song.
It really was. Oh, my God.
My attic is full of pages, full of crazy, cluttered spaces that you could not cross. My attic is full of bones and full of hopeless young emotions that just won't grow up. I keep hiding the keys in all these places even I can't find, hoping one day you'll find them all.
Oh my goodness. No, actually, I do want to go back to that one verse. Inside this olive skin are paper-thin illusions that I'm tougher than I am, and I'm guarded castle walls from all the falls and breakup calls and never should have beens.
Yikes.
Oof. Oh, Sabine. Oof. Yeah. Wow. But then after that, excuse me. And then after that, we had The House That Dripped Blood by the Mountain Goats. It's always the fucking Mountain Goats.
You can have the mountain. I know I picked this one, but it's the Mountain Goats. It feels wrong not to let you have it.
We said this was for Fee and Adonis talk about the island.
About the sentience of the island.
Yeah. Let's just quote the whole song. Look beyond the broken bottles, past the rotting wooden stairs, root out the wine dark honeyed center. Not everyone can live like billionaires. Look through the air-thin walls, tear up the floorboards, strip the paint, go over every inch of space with the patience of a saint. Grab your hat, get your coat, the cellar door is an open throat. Look past the kitchen cabinets, go through the chest of drawers, scrutinize the casements, rip the varnish off the doors, dig up the laughing photographs, they're here somewhere or other. Take what you can carry, but let me tell you, brother, still water's going stagnant, bodies bloat, and the cellar door is an open throat. And I believe we used this on the season 2 finale as well.
Did we?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fun.
Yeah. So it's about the inherited trauma.
Yeah. It's about how House Valsine in and of itself is a haunted house.
Yeah. He's been very proud of that pun.
Sorry.
It's good. It's good. I'm very fond.
And then oh great, a Wonder Years song. Guess who this one's for? This is another one that we've been like fighting all season. Like,
Yeah.
do we pull the trigger on it? No, not yet. Do we
Not
pull the
yet,
trigger
not
on it?
yet.
No, not yet. And it was finally time for it. It's I won't say the Lord's Prayer by the Wonder Years. It's a song about religious trauma and being
Yeah.
fed up with the church.
Yeah. These billboards that flaunt these scare tactics make me think you're only good if you're afraid of being punished.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And if Lot was righteous, I think I'd rather not be. We lean on fences built from outdated morality. It's a gang mentality. It's a dangerous thing. They don't ask you to think, just to repeat after me and assume you're too careless to look at it critically. You'll stop progress if it contradicts what you're told to believe. I refuse to spend life on my knees.
Oh my goodness.
I refuse to spend life on my knees, and I won't let somebody else make my decisions for me. If we're all just Christians or lions, then I think I'd rather be on the side with sharper teeth. I don't need saving. I think it has been...
It's a very good Leo song.
It has been so fun for me to play. You know, I think people like to... Barry's going to go on a cleric stand moment here for a second. But people like to pigeonhole clerics in D&D as, you know, all sweetness and light people that are just there to run heals. And I think it does a disservice both to the mechanical makeup of the class, which is actually one of the most versatile and fucking terrifying classes in the game. Like, depending on what subclass you pick, a cleric can be so like... a cleric spell sheet is my favorite thing to run because it's such a versatile toolbox, and like you can do so much more than just run heals. Like I would say that Leo's been a pretty aggro cleric for like much of the series.
Leo drops a heal every third battle.
Yeah, he's been better about running heals.
Yes.
In season 3 so far, but
our cat's trying to get in our bookshelf. Stop it.
But that's mostly been because he's had to run heals. Yeah.
Girl, you cannot open the cabinet.
Girl, help.
She's trying
really hard.
Really, really hard.
Pidgey. Ow!
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, I think there's something really fun about how clerics tend to get pigeonholed into these very like righteous, upstanding people, and like I'm playing Leo as a cleric who like fundamentally has issues with the church and fundamentally kind of has beef with his god too. And it's like, you know, if
I think there's a lot to be said about like it is more fun to have a variety of like devoutness in your clerics. Like there's nothing wrong with playing like hyper devout clerics, but also like I think it's fun when your clerics kind of don't like their gods.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even if you argue like, oh well, because we had a lot of people, I wouldn't call this criticize us, but we had a lot of people like point out that like, oh, Leo's background and like the way he got his magic, like I would have thought that he would be a warlock. And what is it? What is a cleric if not a warlock?
If not a warlock, but base boosted.
Yeah. And also just, it's not that, you know, if you want to argue that like, oh, well, clerical magic comes from belief. Well, Leo believes in Kimrel. Leo just doesn't believe in Kimrel, if you know what I mean. He acknowledges Kimrel's existence.
Well, and I think Leo's ethics fall in line with the way that Kimrel is portrayed fundamentally
as a god of like, justice.
Yeah, like I think that fits Leo's ethics, and I think believing in the principles behind a deity is just as good as believing in that deity.
Yeah. So you
At
could
least
say
for the way that I run.
Yeah,
clerics.
so you could say that Leo's magical powers come from his own code of ethics, which is interesting. Yeah. Because Kimrel ain't shit as far as he's concerned.
Kimrel believes in Leo. That's why Leo has powers.
You're right, though.
Yeah.
But
I think that's how we've been playing it. Like,
Yeah.
I think mechanically that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, because Leo, like Leo had that stretch of time in season 2 where he wasn't using his powers, but it wasn't because he didn't have them. Like we've said before, he could have broken off a spell anytime he wanted
Anytime
to.
he wanted. He was refusing to do so, and we will talk more about that. God.
And then the next song was Church by Fall Out Boy, and we all know why that's on there.
We all know why that's on.
We all know why that's on there. Moving on.
Moving on. Oh goodness.
Oh, the closer was the Melinda cover of Pippin's song from Lord of the Rings. It was just a mood setter.
Yeah,
like
it's creepy.
Yeah, because she has a very like creepy siren-y voice.
Yeah.
Like I love her music.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the image of like the Australian Navy slowly approaching as home is behind, the world ahead, and there are many paths to tread through shadow, through the edge of night. Like, yeah, like as the ships are coming closer. I thought it was a good scene setter.
Yeah, it was a really good scene setter. I like it.
So that's the playlist.
That's the playlist. Okay, getting out of the questions.
Did you get the later ones we got?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. How's your workload? Are you guys okay? No.
No. We're going bi-weekly.
Yeah. Because
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. We've been kind of crunched. Going bi-weekly for the rest of the campaign. Good to go.
Yeah, we've had really long Raws, which has been part of the issue.
Episodes. Like we didn't plan to have any episodes go over an hour and a half when we started, and now an hour 20 is a short episode.
Yeah. So, and to put that in perspective, usually the raw audio decreases by half when I edit an episode. Yeah. So roughly by half.
Yeah.
So however long the episodes are when they're getting to you, the raw audio was at least twice that long.
Yeah. And like we do trimming while we're recording.
So we've had some long raw audios.
And we've had some long recording days.
And
some long edits.
My work, like my in-person job, has been insane, which is cutting into my editing time. And also somebody keeps vandalizing my car. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for asking. Our workload is good now. Oh goodness. And then our next question was talk about the end of the episode, because like, is this it? Is this where we panic? Yes.
You should.
Yeah. We are ramping up to the final battle. Next week is going to be part and parcel of the final battle. Like it is going to be the direct lead up, and like some of the combat, like the greater combat surrounding Leo and Fee's final battle with their dad. Surrounding Leo and Fee killing their dad in the pit.
Kill your dad.
We hope.
Unless he kills us first.
But yeah, like we are in the end game. Episode 21 is an epilogue, and it's kind of a where are they now of all of our characters.
And if we die, it's literally going to be an hour and a half of Moreland Valsine sitting in front of a fireplace swirling a glass of wine.
Yeah. We hope we don't die. But yeah, next episode is very much the lead up to the combat, and then 20 is going to be the final combat. Like we are in the shit now. This is it. Let's panic.
Yeah.
If there was ever a time to panic.
Now is the time to panic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to put things in perspective, Moreland doesn't have control of the entire Australian Navy anymore because a bunch of people were deserting, but there's a good bit of them left. And our heroes have the party, essentially.
Yeah.
And the crew of the ship, or like some of the crew of the Banshee, because the captain took the Banshee since it was a faster ship with his crew on it and left the other people behind on the ship. So they have one ship.
We have one boat, the party, teen squad, and a couple other pirates. Yeah, we're in the shit now. We're going to see what happens next week. Oh, goodness. Or not next
week, in 2 weeks, but next episode.
Next episode. Yeah. You know what I meant.
Yeah. Panic. We certainly are.
Panic. It'll be fine.
Cat. Girl, help.
Stop. Anyway. Oh, goodness. But yes, this is it. Our next question was talk about the island and the pit some more.
This is the part where I want to say that the summary for this week's episode, if you like
Yes.
look on the
Yeah,
on like
yeah.
the podcatchers and you look on YouTube and everything, and how the summary this week is just a poem.
Yeah.
That is a poem, friend of the show and also very good friend of ours, Nasper Orion, wrote about Adana and the island.
Yeah. Like, oh, I think it was the week that Truth Dies in Darkness came out. Our friend Nasper listened to the episode and then just dropped that poem on us. It was so good. It was so good.
They've written a couple other really good Adana poems too. So I don't know if they're ever planning on publishing them or anything, but
they rock.
They showed us and they rock. Yeah.
Nasper's a really good poet.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask them if there's a place where you can find like a collection of their poetry on the internet, because their relationship with social media is what it is. But I will ask about that, and I will probably talk about it next stream. But yeah, very exciting. Yeah, that poem was specifically written about Adana and the island, and we just had to ask for permission to use it as the summary. Like, we had to.
Because it was perfect for this episode.
It was so good. Yeah. It was so good.
So,
talking about the island and the pit.
They are two different things, if not two separate things. They are part of each other, and the island does not like this because they are both to a degree sentient.
Yeah. Like we said so in the episode, and we've said so in previous Q&As. Like, we talk about a place being inhabited long enough, I think, does imbue it with a certain level of personhood into itself. Like, it is an entity into itself just because of the connection that people have with it. And in the case of Luxogolan, that is very literal. And we've kind of left it ambiguous how much is a metaphor and how much is literal, and we're gonna keep doing that. But like, yeah, we've talked about Leo seeing all the ghosts on the beach in the town that used to be there when Alander and Justice were alive. Sorry. We talked about that. You could interpret that as either Leo's magic acting up, or the island, or Leo just having psychotic symptoms. Yeah. But like, you can interpret that any of those ways. Like, we're leaving a lot of things with Luxogolan specifically up for interpretation, because we think that makes the island itself and everything happening on it hit harder
and a little bit scarier, because you don't know. Yeah. And everything we hear about the island, we should keep in mind, because like our two biggest insights into the island and the pit are unreliable narrators. It's Leo, who's freaking the fuck out right now, and Adana, who's been freaking the fuck out for 75 years. Like, yeah, like, it's very much. And also, a lot of the discussion with Adana and Fee was Adana projecting. I mean, like, she wasn't, as far as explaining that dynamic goes, like, she wasn't necessarily wrong. No. But like, if you listen to it, it's like, oh, Queen, you're projecting your own issues onto this island a little bit. Yeah. Like, it's very much how much of a real consciousness or a recognizable consciousness the island has is something we're very much leaving up for interpretation. How much it feels, we're leaving up for interpretation. The magic in it was enough to create Fee's dream sequence, which is what you know. Like, that's the information that you have for sure. Everything else is Adana's conjecture and Adana projecting. So, like, she could be 100% right. She could be 100% wrong. You don't know. Yeah. Like, it's very much something that we are trying to leave ambiguous, and that we are leaving ambiguous on purpose. Yeah, the ghost hole is a little less ambiguous, because I think that everything that Leo has said about the ghost hole is pretty on the nose. Like, it does like him a lot, and it does want him in it. Yeah. Like, the ghost hole is a little bit easier to understand because it is part of Kimrel. It's the part of his soul it's the part of his soul that Alander Valside stole. Yeah. So it is a split off from a consciousness that we are able to understand, and it was created by other consciousnesses that we are able to understand. The island is different. Yeah, but like, the whole is basically
driven by the same instincts that sentient people are. You know what I mean?
Well, like Kimrel said,
Yeah.
anything that's alive anything that can feel hunger is alive to some degree. Like it
Yep.
wants to stay alive. Like,
Yep. Yeah. Oh goodness. But yeah, the island, or no, the pit is a lot less ambiguous than the island, like intentionally. It does want more people in it. It does want to keep sustaining itself, and it's a fan of Leo because he is already deeply tied to it, and it sees him as like easy prey.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we'll talk more. We have things to say. We'll talk more about. Oh, our next question was talk about the end of show horror. Please just rant about the specific horror flavor and how you're using it.
Everything's haunted.
Everything's haunted.
Everybody's haunted, bitch.
Island's
Let's get
haunted.
You some fruit.
Oh,
no. I need to get more water.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked a lot about, we really enjoy haunted house horror. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much like horror that can be used as a metaphor for trauma is the best horror in my opinion. Just I have my own shit to work out, but like that's something that I connect really deeply to is horror as trauma as horror. And like that is something that we're trying to use a lot both in this campaign and in our planning for our next one, which is more horror themed. Oh, sorry.
And I mean, like, this was a genre of horror that we were able to roll with because number one, it's a genre we both already liked.
Yes.
And like number two, I am really finicky with horror.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of psychological horror.
Yeah.
But like gory slasher jump scare shit has
great.
never done it for me. Like number one, it scares me and I don't like how it scares me.
Yeah.
And number two, like I just don't feel like there are people that have written that stuff compellingly. Like I've heard really good things about the Happy Death Day movies.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I feel like I could succeed in writing. And also it just, that type of horror does not match up with the type of stories that we are trying to tell.
Yeah. So. Like it's very much when you're telling a story that is about trauma, fundamentally, it is easier to work in horror that is trauma, basically.
Yeah.
So it was really easy to work that in. So, and a lot of that ends up being haunted houses and ends up being ghosts and ends up being like environments being warped,
like hostile
if that makes
environments.
Sense. Yeah, hostile environments and liminal spaces and stuff like that. Like that's what ends up being a lot of that genre of horror. So that's what we ended up doing was oh goodness. And especially because with Leo, especially, we are writing a narrative about grief. Like we are writing a narrative that is in a lot of ways about Leo's grief and Lorelai's grief and Kalessa's grief, and to an extent, like we've talked about Erave's grief and Sabine's. Mm-hmm. Like it's very much grief is kind of in the background of a lot of the story, so it made a lot of sense to do ghosts for a lot of the horror. Because what's the Hill House quote? It's a ghost is a wish, you know? Like it's very much, there is no easier way to write metaphors for the toll that grief takes on a person. And like, there's no easier way to write that metaphor than to have ghosts around. And in a lot of ways, we're going to be talking about suicidal ideation for a minute. It is very easy to write that sort of story about a character who fundamentally does not want to be alive, which is what we've been doing a lot with Leo. Like, he started taking his rogue levels because he was trying to cope with, like, the loss of Soren and, like, him finding out about Soren's death. And...
Well, he started taking rogue levels because he decided, fuck Kimrel.
Well, yeah, like, but initially, that's when he decided that. Yeah, like it was, we have written it a little bit, and we didn't entirely intend all of this, but like we have written it as a maladaptive coping mechanism. And like, I did this intentionally, but like Leo didn't start getting his subclass features until he did something stupid and self-destructive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like
Leo has never actively tried to unalive himself, but he
Yeah.
sure has put himself very willingly in situations that could kill him with the
Yeah.
knowledge that they could kill him, which
Yeah, and,
is
like, it's something that we've
yeah.
explored in the show already, and, like
Well, and like Zed called him on it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
and when Zed called him on it, he broke down and admitted that he was right. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like, that's something that we've put a lot into Leo's story, and, like, his taking rogue levels and the way that his rogue subclass has worked has reinforced that, and tying that back to the pit and the ghosts and like all of the inherited trauma was something that I think synergized really well, and it made it very powerful when he said no to the pit.
Well, yeah, and the
Yeah.
moment in the Leo Zed scene where he said like all of this everything horrible
Yeah.
in my life wants me, but it doesn't get to have
Yeah,
me.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was something that like we didn't do all of the setup for it intentionally, but when
But
we got to record this episode, it was like, okay, we're
it
doing
panned
this.
out. Yeah, it panned out really,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It had the accidents, and then we synergized it intentionally.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
we're done.
okay.
Okay, but yeah, we've enjoyed doing that, and like we've enjoyed playing around with altered consciousness with a lot of the horror.
The dream
Um,
sequences have always been really fun for me. Like even like Fever Dream in season 2. And
Fever
the
Dream was really fun. I think
yeah.
that was like when we decided to do more horror in this one.
Yeah. Well, because Fever Dream wasn't necessarily horror. It was
No,
just
but
like altered perception and like
yep, yep,
unreality.
yep. But I think that was like the moment where we were like, "Oh, we should make this scary.
Mhm.
We should make parts of this show really scary." Um, so that was fun. And it's been, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the horror as we've gotten winding down with the season has just been I have wanted to flex my horror muscles, and Barry has wanted to let me.
I know better than to try.
Fee's dream sequence was good. It just wasn't scary. It was really good. It just wasn't as scary.
I can't. I'm not good at writing horror, so next
You do
campaign
your
should be
best.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta flex the muscles. You gotta practice. Oh goodness. But yeah. It's been very fun. We've said before, but like in a lot of our episode outlines, there is just a point in
It says
brackets
Al
that's
does horror
Al does
shit.
horror shit. And that's been very fun. Oh goodness. Our next question.
Yeah, I can't write horror, but I can give you a sandbox to write horror in. I can't write horror. I can't scare anybody, but I can give you a fucked up ghost hole to scare people with.
Yeah. Yeah. We work well together. It's all right. Oh goodness. And then our next question was, are Adana and the island connected within canon? Like, yeah, they're kind of allegories for each other, but from her years on the island, would she have an actual connection?
That's one of those things that's like up
Yeah,
for
we're leaving
interpretation.
that very much up for interpretation. Like, she thinks so, for sure. And the island hasn't killed her yet.
And she said that before that it tried, and
yeah,
she
yeah.
told it, no thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Like it is very much something that we are intentionally leaving up for interpretation, but Adana certainly thinks there's a connection there, and however you interpret that. But like Adana is an unreliable narrator, but she does have a lot of magical expertise and a lot of knowledge. So it's very much just
It's Chelsea.
oh, okay.
Hey, we're on Q&A. What?
Oh shit, I'm sorry, I forgot my keys.
Okay, I'll be down in a second.
Oops.
I'm
I'm gonna
her
rip
keys are
for a
attached to
second.
her car keys. Okay.
I don't know. Oh goodness. But yes. But yeah, Adana is someone that is very well versed in arcane theory. So however you interpret that, like she's an unreliable narrator, but this is her field of study, and this is something that she knows a lot about. So but we are intentionally leaving that one up for interpretation. I'm just gonna wait for him to get back. But yeah. But they are definitely allegories for each other, and like we did Adana projecting onto the island very intentionally. Hi, bestie.
Take your son.
And we're back. Cool. Our next question was just talk about Celica and Adana. I'm begging.
How did we like Adana's gay awakening?
We loved Adana's Gay Awakening.
Chelsea enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun with Adana's gay awakening. It was really good. Oh, geez.
We had joked about the line "Mom, do you like women?" for a while.
Yeah, for a while. Because, like, as we've said, we've known Adana was going to be back and was alive since the beginning. And so we've been, like, planning her endgame since the beginning. And, like, I don't even remember when we started joking about, Mom, do you like women?
It was a while back.
It was
like,
a while
yeah.
back. I think it's been at least a year. Yeah. But just Mom, do you like women was something we were waiting to pull the trigger on for like so long.
And I think like
I think it played out really well. Somebody in chat said Adana most character ever.
she could see the future. She's autistic. She lives in the woods and snipes human traffickers. She's even bisexual.
Like, damn. Oh, goodness. The power that she has.
She kills and dresses her own game.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, like, we were planning out her endgame and we were planning out Mom, do you like women for a while? And, like, we thought she and Celica would work really well together because of A, it's a mutual healing from trauma narrative. B, Adana's not like Adana's never going to recover fully from the shit that happened to her.
Because it has like permanently altered her brain.
Yeah. And like I think much like we heard from Kalesa at the beginning, like it is very much she can't go back because she can't go back physically to any of the places that she's called home before because she can't go back mentally. We love writing trauma narratives. But I think the tower would be a good refuge for her, and we like brought that up, and like we brought up
the tower in the woods in Tordu.
Yeah, sorry. Celica's tower.
Yeah.
But like, and we brought that up as like, yeah, I think that would be fun if they cohabitated and and then
it was like, but then we were like, would it be so bad if they kissed?
But what if they kissed though? What if they also kissed? And we were talking about like their similar sources of trauma. Like the island is definitely a sore spot for both of them and for Talendra also. Like it's very much a healing narrative that's synergized very well. And also we just like them.
I think
Yeah.
that the two smart women
Yeah.
crushing on each
Just
other.
two MILFs.
Yeah. Two genius MILFs.
Two genius MILFs, yes. And also we thought they would bond over like their different but similar like fields of arcane study, and we thought up the thing with Celica making her gloves to try and focus her magic like really recently.
Yeah, because Celica's never really gotten to, other than making the portal key, we really haven't seen Celica flex a lot of her artificer stuff.
Yeah, which has been unfortunate.
So we were like, what if we made it gay?
Yeah, what if we just made it a little bit gay?
Yeah. So
but yeah, and
mutual acts of service back and forth, because Adana was giving her the herbs earlier, and then Celica made her the gloves, and then Adana wanted to make her the pie because she made her the gloves.
Celica fixed up Adana's hair last episode, and it was very much the mutual acts of service are just mwah.
Yeah.
And also true to every older sapphic woman I know. Just oh my goodness. Somebody in chat said, I'm obsessed with them. Two MILFs just being like, OMG, look at my boy. He's grown. I can't. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, Leo
Yeah.
and Ravane are gonna be stepbrothers. Bad.
Don't say that. Oh goodness. I don't like that. But yeah, it's very much the mutual acts of service were something that we really enjoyed playing out in the episodes. And like, yeah, it's very much the narrative that we're going for is these are two very traumatized women and they're just gonna help each other out with like building things back up. And like Celica's been away from her own trauma for longer, but also like Celica's been hiding from the world for a very long time, and it is like the isolation is very similar, and they're very much similar characters in a way that we thought would work really well together. So, oh goodness,
MILF City, MILF City,
MILF City, MILF City.
It's MILF o'clock 24/7.
It's MILF o'clock 24/7. But yeah, we like them.
And like Leo, I feel like how much Leo freaked out can be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make it very clear, intent-wise. Leo was not freaking out because he was freaked out about his mom liking women.
Yeah.
He was freaked out about her liking that one.
Because Talindra doesn't like Leo.
And
no matter
Celica
how
doesn't
much-
really in particular.
Yeah.
Like,
Celica's not fond of Leo, and Talindra kind of actively dislikes him despite her grudging respect for him.
so he's like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
could have
fuck.
picked
Oh,
anyone.
God. Oh god. Oh goodness. Somebody in the chat said, I think they're both ready to kill. That's so enchanting. Like, yes, besties, kill. Yeah, that too, also. I think that's something that more Adana and Talindra. I can't fucking speak. Something more that Adana and Talindra are gonna bond over.
Killing, maiming, violence.
Oh goodness. Just shooting human traffickers to death with your headmate's girlfriend. Hashtag just girly things. Hashtag feminism.
That, oh my god, we had to do so many takes of the mom, do you like women? Of course, sweetheart, I love women. As a feminist, solidarity is so important to me because we both kept fucking cracking up before we could get the lines finished.
I pitched we couldn't do the response that I like initially pitched for that line because it would have been very immersion breaking, but like the original thing that I pitched was solidarity is so important. Hashtag feminism, hashtag girl boss. Like that's what I was saying in response to the mom do you like women line for like months.
So it eventually got workshopped too,
Hashtag
of course.
hetero girl boss.
So eventually it got workshopped into, of course, I love women. As a feminist, solidarity is very important to me. No.
No. I also loved having everybody respond. No, they don't.
Compelled is a disease.
Compelled is a disease. Oh goodness. Also, Celica immediately piecing out of the conversation.
Like, oh no, she's having some realizations that I should not be here for.
Not even that, but just like, oh no, other people noticed me being gay and yearning.
All right, I'm a head out.
I'm a go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It's like that Gale clip. Clean up the chairs. No one can know we yearn. Oh goodness, it was really good.
I like Adana and Celica.
I like them a lot. They're so awkward.
But yeah, it wasn't that Leo was freaking out. In fact, I think Leo is celebrating it quietly within
Yeah.
his mind, in my mind, I always wondered why you were so easily okay with having a trans kid. First, I just thought you were a really good ally, but we all know what a slippery slope that is.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
Being a really good ally.
Leo quietly to himself later that night, one of us, one of us, one of us.
God. Oh no.
Can't wait for the blooper reel of Moreland Valsine realizing A, that his wife is alive, and B, is queer, and just
Yeah,
going through
yeah.
a montage in his head.
We joked about the mental montage in Moreland's Inside Out control room of every time that his wife acted like a little gay. Just, you had a bad day. You had a bad day. You had a bad day. Oh, goodness. Yeah, somebody in the chat said compet stomping is the first step of healing. So true. Exactly.
You know what we call that?
Growth. I think there's a lot to be said about how getting in touch with your identity is the first step to healing from trauma. Listen, I think we can all attest to that. Oh, goodness. Anyway, our next question. Our next question was, do you think like they're actually prepared for this shit? I so worry.
Oh, they have one boat.
They have one boat. They have one boat and like 50 people maybe. Oh goodness.
And the captain is gone.
Not back yet.
No,
Not
yeah.
back yet. We have some things planned so they don't all instantly get killed, but we will see what happens. Like everyone in the party is very capable for sure, and they do have Mia, who is a dragon.
I had joked about Leo and Morlin having a face-off over a sending spell with, I have an army. We have a dragon.
Bad. But yeah, like to be fair, everyone in the party is very capable. Leo and Fee are both like specialized killing machines.
Well, I mean, you made the joke that Leo
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
weapon
exactly.
designed by God specifically to kill Morlin Valentine.
By divine providence, Leo is a weapon specifically designed to kill Morlin Valentine. But yeah,
God
like,
won't let me die, but he will. But he will let you.
so true.
God won't let me die, but he encourages you. There we go.
Fuck. But yeah, everybody in the party is very capable. Everybody that's on the island is very capable. Leo and Fee are both veritable killing machines with a whole lot of magical weapon, or with a whole lot of magical item that has a lot of capability. And like they're all very much prepped for this. And also Mia is a giant ancient dragon that breathes acid.
But also they're outnumbered like 10-1.
They are outnumbered 10-1. Like that's the thing. Like it is a numbers game, and they are all worth maybe 5 Australian naval officers. Somebody in the chat said they do have like 4 teenagers though. I think we should teach them to throw rocks from the tower. 5, and counting Sid.
If you count Sid, and
Yeah.
Sid is a fuck off high level cleric.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Sid is a fuck off high level cleric.
Clit-
Lorelai is one of 2 level 20 characters in the campaign.
The other of whom is Morlin.
The other one is Morlin. Yeah. Yeah, there are 2 level 20 characters in the entire campaign. One of them is Lorelai Shakrana. Which is so good for her. But you and Sunshine are both very powerful in their own right. Glasses makes guns for fun. Like everybody on the island is very capable.
Sunshine's underleveled behind the rest of the team.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Not by a whole lot.
Not by a whole lot, but she is a little underleveled.
She is a little underleveled. Just because of her backstory.
Mm-hmm.
But she's pretty formidable. You could just chop people in half.
Yeah.
Like everybody on the island is very capable, but they are so outnumbered that like
capability doesn't really have that much scope.
Yeah, we have a few fail safes and we have a few things to pull out of the hat. And we're not gonna let them just get TPK'd instantly because that's not good for the story. But I'm gonna be real. Things are not looking good on that island. We are in the shit now. We are in the end game. This is it.
I know I've made jokes about this before, but there's this Vine, or not Vine. There's this God, I just showed my ass about how old I am. There's this TikTok about 2 Jedi roommates at the temple the night that Order 66 went down.
God. Would you like to go out there and ask them?
Master Skywalker, there are too many. What are we going to do? Oh, we gotta go. It's a really good TikTok.
It's fun. But that's the situation. Like, we are in the end game. We've said before, episode 21 is an epilogue. We are down to the last 2 episodes of the main story. We're in the shit. Oh, goodness. And then...
Last one.
We had a last question of if you can briefly talk about how character arcs are ending, please do. I think we're going to save that for campaign wrap-up.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because I think it would be more satisfying to answer it after the wrap-up has actually happened. Yep. And where we get to see where everything like ends up, ages down the road. Like,
I think we're going to save the question about unpacking all of our character arcs for the finale Q&A. And like, I mean the finale, like the epilogue, not episode 20.
Yeah, because episode 20 is going to be mostly combat.
Yeah.
It's going to be us getting shit.
We're gonna have a
it's-
lot to say about story arcs after the epilogue.
Episode 20 is going to be us getting shit kicked for an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Moreland's lair actions are
Bad.
bad.
Bad. And Moreland can self-heal.
And one of his lair actions also does self-healing.
Yeah. Episode 20 is gonna be us having to do like 300 minimum damage on Moreland Valside.
Per round.
Not per round.
Okay.
Not 300 per round because he has like 128 max.
Yeah, but we're doing
Yeah.
the AC
That's-
boosting thing
yes,
and the HP
yeah.
boosting thing. Like we're gonna have to hurt him.
damage. Yeah, we're gonna have to hurt him real bad. We're gonna have to do minimum 300 damage, probably more.
Yeah.
And like Leo and Fee are specialized killing machines.
But more like a fly.
That's true. That's true.
At
that's
level
true.
20, Divine Soul Sorcerers can just sprout wings
Yeah,
and take
they
to
can
the
just
air.
decide to fly. That is the thing that Moreland has. Yeah, and that's assuming that we get to fight Moreland alone. Yeah. So, oof. Somebody in chat said, how very, very funny would it be for him to get one-shotted?
We can't. Like, mechanically,
can't,
even
yeah.
if Leo crits, we
Yeah.
cannot one-shot
Yeah,
him.
yeah. We just got a bunch of whats and all.
Yeah, he can fly. He can sprout
Yeah,
wings.
he can fly. He can fly. He can just do that. We're gonna release, I think, all of the character sheets publicly when we get to the end,
Mhm.
like the end game character sheets. Very fun. But yeah, Moreland can just decide to fly. It's fucked. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, man.
Level 20 Divine Soul Sorcerers are stupid.
Ooh. Divine Soul Sorcerers are a class. I mean, all classes get wild shit when they get to that level, but like, just wings is kind of, that's a lot.
You just gonna fly.
That's
You can just
something.
fly now.
That's something.
Yeah.
It's very fun. But yeah, he has a lot of lair actions that we are going to
And like also
have
some
to fight
fun
through.
Divine Soul Sorcerer stuff. And also so many sorcery points.
And also the Hellmouth, essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially, we are going to be fighting Moreland and also the Ghost Hole.
Well, yeah, because the Ghost Hole is where a lot of his
Yeah,
lair actions
yeah,
live.
yeah. Yeah, like that's essentially going to be us 2v2ing.
Yeah. Leo just yelling into the Ghost Hole, trying to stab the hole. Die! Again!
Leo instantly takes 3d6 necrotic damage.
Yeah, final battle's gonna be.
It's gonna be interesting.
We're gonna live,
It's
we
gonna
think.
be fun. We think we're gonna live. Leo has heals. It's fine. It's all good. Somebody in chat said, "Hope the Ghost Hole turns against him last minute." That's very fitting, methinks. Maybe.
Depends on how we roll.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, yeah. We have some interesting things planned for episode 20. And
Open question time, by the way.
yeah, open question time, by the way. And we have some interesting things planned for the finale. We think that'll be a fun one to watch live with everybody. Yeah. Even if there's not a whole lot of action and plot in it, because it is just an epilogue. But
Podcast has a happy ending. If we
podcast
can, if we
has a
both
happy
live,
ending. As long as we live, the podcast has a happy ending. We're not gonna die. Probably. We're probably not gonna die. Knock on wood. Oh goodness.
yeah, and I'll release like Moreland's stat block from the final combat to like all of his lair
Yes,
actions and
yeah,
everything
yeah,
eventually
Yeah.
because I put a lot of work into that.
Yeah. It's very
I've
good.
done I would say like probably most of our Moreland design for like
Yeah,
mechanics and like well also like
Yeah.
I fucking play him and Omegroth,
Yeah.
but like
Well, and you're better at mechanics than I am.
I basically took I reskinned a lot of things, obviously, like changed the flavor and like
Yeah.
but mechanically he's like if Strahd and Tiamat had a baby.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, we'll be releasing that. We'll also be releasing the like exact abilities of Leo and Fee's magic items. So that'll be good. But yeah, we're gonna just be putting a lot of a lot of our materials public when the campaign ends.
Yeah,
it's
just
fun.
because I would love to eventually do an O'Leary source book. Like,
Yeah.
but like that's a pipe dream because that's gonna
Yeah.
take forever to write, and I have a job, and yeah.
That's something that we're thinking of doing in the future.
If we get really famous and get a bunch of money, so I can afford to like not work for 6 months and write an O'Leary source book.
We'll see. But yeah. Oh goodness. But yeah, in the interim, while we can't do that,
We want to make
yeah.
as much like public
Yeah.
to you as we can. So like
Yeah.
if you guys, because like I would be flattered if somebody wanted to
Yeah.
run a campaign in O'Leary. Like that would make me so
that would be
happy.
very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would love it if that happened, and like if anybody wanted to use any of the characters as like one-off or DMPCs or something like that,
Yeah.
or wanted to use our magic items, like we think that would be really fun. And also we want people to be able to look at what we were working with in the final combat and in the next episode that's going to be coming out immediately. But yeah, we just think it's a fun thing. We're very excited.
There's 3 episodes left, man.
There's 3 episodes left in the whole campaign.
That's nuts.
Yep. Oh goodness. Episode 19 is gonna be something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something.
There will be good parts and there will be not so good parts.
I am excited to see Mia dragging out because we have that planned for episode 19.
Either 19 or 20. We hadn't figured out whether Mia was going to drag it out in 19 or 20, but
Yeah.
Mia in the next 2 episodes at some point Mia will drag it out. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said, giggles cutely, how fun would it be to have your character just nearly shot to death by 2 sapphics in the woods? Just have Adana and Celica as NPCs, yeah. Here are the weird milves in the tower. Potion seller, give me your strongest potions.
No.
Oh, and we're gonna be releasing Adana's analytic foresight.
Yeah.
Which is the cat's cradle spell that Adana has.
Well, I mean, like all of her magic is cast through, like the cat's cradle. The way I picture it is the somatic components for her spells are like different shapes of cat's cradle. Like I don't know, who's ever played actually played like with a cat's cradle before, but like you know that like it's essentially like it's a loop of string, and then like depending on how you tuck it under your fingers and like turn it over in your hands, you can make different shapes.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of how I picture Adana's somatic casting is like like a more hands-on version of the Doctor Strange magic almost, if that makes sense. Like, like the tessellation, like the visual effects of like the tessellations and everything, except it's woven between her fingers, and she to do somatic components for spells, she's like looping the string and making different shapes, and that's how she's casting. Yeah, but she did invent a spell because Adana when I say like genius MILF, like Adana was lauded as one of the greatest magical minds of her age. Like she was one of the most brilliant diviners to ever come out of Australia. She invented that kind of magic.
Still is. Yeah, but like she invented her own like seeing the future spell, which we've called Adana's analytic foresight. If you listen to Amagrath Battle of Amagrath Part 1, you know about it. But we're going to be releasing just the text of the spell. So if anybody wants to use it. But yeah, it's very fun. It's a fun thing. But yeah, just any materials that we have, we will just be putting out for public access because we think it's more fun that way.
Yeah. I mean, the text of Adana's analytic foresight is basically just fuck around and find out.
Yeah, pretty much. Somebody in chat said, when's Battle of Omeroth Part 2 coming around?
Soon-ish.
It got delayed because of our production schedule being tight.
And because the audio, the raw audio for it was 3.5 fucking hours long. I have it down to 2 hours and 45 minutes now.
Yeah. It's gonna be a big one.
It's gonna be over 2 hours. Yeah, it's gonna be over 2 hours.
It's gonna be a big one. Also, we're gonna be releasing that publicly on the free feed. But between our campaigns, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. I was remind me to pitch meeting with you later about something.
Yes.
But yeah.
But yeah. It's coming out in the next couple of weeks. And then we have to update our bonus episode schedule for our $5 patrons because some things are
Everything's
Yeah.
fucked. Yeah.
everything's fucked. It's just moving production around has thrown us off schedule a lot.
As
But
soon,
that
yeah,
will
but
be-
as
yeah.
soon as Omegroth 2 is done and dusted, like as soon as it
Yeah.
is edited,
Somebody in chat said 3 hours and Moreland couldn't find a moment to die. Shaking my head. Can you believe it?
well, I can't make a joke about
We
Omegroth
can't make
Part
the
1,
joke about Omegroth because
yeah.
it's only for $5 patrons. Anyway. Oh, that's a good crack though.
And it was like at the end, it's not going to be 3 hours. It's probably going to be like
No.
2 hours. Like, I mean, I
Maybe
don't.
2.5.
Yeah, not even 2.5.
No.
Like,
It's probably going to be about the length of Death Twins Part 2.
yeah, in all likelihood, like maybe a little bit longer. I don't know, but like, it's gonna be long.
It's going to be a big one.
But as soon as it is
You're
done,
welcome, $5 patrons, and also we're sorry.
yeah, as soon as it's done, dusted, soundtracked, edited, transcripted, like it will be going up the second we have it done.
Yeah. We're sorry for the delay.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best.
I'm so
we
tired.
We are a 2-person production team.
I'm so tired.
We are a 2-person production team. We do our best.
And our audio editor already works 40 hours a week.
But yeah. But yeah, that will be coming out as soon as possible. 19 is coming out not this Friday, but next Friday. And then 20 and 21 both go live on YouTube on the Thursdays before they come out. And then on the free feed Fridays, or Fridays as usual. I believe it's June 3rd and June 17th.
Right before my birthday.
Yeah. Episode 19 is coming out right after my birthday. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Also, just check the content warnings for the rest of the campaign.
Except for the epilogue.
The epilogue's fine. The
Yeah.
epilogue's fine. For the next 2 episodes, just assume that you should check them.
No matter what happens, the epilogue's fine because it's either going to be happy ending, sappy bullshit, or 1 hour and a half of Moreland Valside swirling a glass of wine. And occasionally chuckling to himself while a fire crackles in the
Evilly.
background. It's like an ASMR track.
It's like the Netflix fireplace. It's like the Netflix
Like the
fireplace.
Witcher fireplace on Netflix.
Oh God. Oh God. The various Netflix fireplaces. Roaring fire, sound of chuckling. Somebody in the chat said, "Screams, please don't celebrate with your favorites dying." We hope not.
We hope not, but
We hope
if
not.
but if we do die, that is what the finale will be. It will just be a
Oh,
Netflix
goodness.
fireplace of Moreland Valside sitting in a study.
We're not gonna die. We're not gonna die. Some people will die. Leo and Fee won't die.
for long. Leo has Revivify.
Leo does have Revivify. They will not be separated. Do not separate them. Oh, goodness. Just what in all caps? I'm sure some people are gonna die in the various combats that we have going. Like, we're in the shit. We hope nobody that we like too much dies. Or at least nobody that we like too much stays dead. Moreland Valside's gonna fucking die unless he kills us first. We are shooting for Moreland Valside to die.
He's gonna die or we're gonna die trying.
Yeah. Us, the players, will die in real life trying to kill him. Oh, goodness. Yeah, somebody in the chat said, "Oh, right, you're not sure if characters are going to last, right? Fen could drop dead. He could." We'll see.
It's not likely.
It's not likely.
He has
We're-
a dragon and he
yeah.
has a pocket dragon.
Leo has Revivify. We have a lot of healing spells on our side. Like, in all likelihood,
We have a lot of people that can run heals because, like,
Yeah.
Sabine runs good heals.
Yeah.
We can prepare Verity to run,
Yeah.
like, because Verity's
and
a pretty,
Talindra.
like
yeah.
Verity and Talindra are both pretty high level druids, and like
Yeah.
high level druids can run some pretty good heals. Like,
Sunshine is
a cleric,
and
yeah.
Sunshine is a heals based cleric.
mhm.
Yeah, like we run her with a lot of heals. She casts Guiding Bolt like one time.
Yeah.
But she is a utility cleric. And also Mia is a giant dragon that breathes acid. I cannot stress enough.
We have a lot of healers and a dragon.
Yeah,
we should
yeah,
be fine.
We're not gonna get TPK'd. Knock on wood. Somebody in the chat said, Captain, come back with your sexy troops, please. God. The captain should be back soon.
He's working on it.
Yeah, we're in the shit. Like, we are mostly worried about the beginning of episode 19. Because the captain's not back yet and the Australian Navy is beating down the door. So, if we're going to have a lot of casualties in the party, that will be when it happens.
But we're gonna try to mitigate.
We're gonna try to not do that. Oh goodness, we're gonna try to not do that.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks for the episode 19 of season 3 Q&A.
Read the content warnings.
Check the content warnings now to the end. Check them.
Have
See you next time.
have fun.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.